Y'all, the gloves are off because DDG's mom just came for Halle Bailey's entire reputation, and the way she's exposing her, it's not looking good for Halle at all. See, Halle thought she was about to air out DDG with her sneaky little claims about his weird habits, but what she didn't expect was his mama stepping and flipping the whole story swinging, and exposing the site of Halle fans weren't ready to believe, yet now the internet is in shambles. The family's drama is getting messier by the second, and everybody's starting to question if Halle's innocent image is just one big performance. So, how did we get from Halle's subtle shade to Tanya dragging her for filth? And what did Tanya reveal that got fans completely switching sides? Let me break it down for y'all. So, it's a whole new world of drama between Halle Bailey and DDG that has officially gone off the rails, and now DDG's mama Tanya is stepping all the way in making sure her son isn't the only one catching that heat after H started dropping hints that DDG's family dynamic was, let's just say, shaky and questionable. Tanya wasted no time clapping back and calling out what she claims is H's real personality. And according to Tanya, fans have seen the polished Hollywood version of Halle, not the side that's been causing trouble behind the scenes. But before we dive deep into Tanya's clapback, let's rewind a little bit, because this didn't just come out of the nowhere. Y'all know how he's been low-key blaming DDG's family for the whole mess that their relationship turned into, especially his mama. In her court filings, Halle didn't hold back and basically implied that DDG's mom was enabling the drama, never holding him accountable, and even played a whole part in the covering up for him when things allegedly got toxic. But trust, Honey did not appreciate being thrown into the mix like that. For example, when she claimed that DDG allegedly put hands on her and chipped her tooth. Halle wrote, "When we arrived at his house, I was crying and told his family what happened. I begged his family, who were there to help me figure out a schedule with him. They just said leave Halo and go." Y'all also know that she claimed that Tanya helped DDG hide the fact that he wasn't a present father like he would like us to believe. She wrote, "I am aware that Daryl leaves Halo with his mother most of the visits, and his mother cares for Halo now." It didn't take long for Tanya to come back into the situation and join that chat, and the way she did it, it was clear that she was in Mama Bear mode. She hopped on Instagram, posted that infamous Kermit the Frog meme, and captioned it, "Hello Jesus, take the wheel." And that might seem subtle, but anybody with common sense caught the shade, and right after that the internet started dragging her for being an enabler like Halle claimed. Well, Tanya fired off another message, basically saying enough is enough. She posted, "I don't usually comment or say anything on this internet, even with all the negativity, lies, and hatred towards mine. But these accusations made me realize I've been quiet too long." But this is where the whole thing spiraled, because Halle came with some receipts. She dropped some text that straight up exposed how deep DDG's mom was allegedly enabling him behind the scenes. Now one of those receipts exposed basically confirmed what folks had been side-eyeing Tanya for in the text. Instead of DDG handling his own child, Halle was clearly dealing with his mama. She texted Tanya saying, "Just keeping you updated, we'll be back." On the 11th, haven't heard if Moose still plans to get Halo like we talked about. If he's around, you can get him the 27th and bring him back the 4th. If not, I'll keep him till we return. Tanya then claimed that DDG didn't have the time to take Halo, saying, "I forgot to text you." He said that he will wait until you get back to get him. Well, right after those texts hit the blogs, Tanya wasn't having it. She clapped back extra hard, basically saying Halle's out here trying to play V, twisting the facts. According to Tanya, she's the one stepping up for Halo and DDG's unavailable, and instead of being grateful, H is throwing shade. But fans aren't really buying it, because if DDG is such a hands-on dad like Tanya claims, why is his mom always the one making the arrangements? Well, fans definitely went off on the comments of Tanya, and they said stuff like, "I don't normally like to blame parents for how their grown adult children behave, but DDG's mama is a huge part of the problem, and her post since the restraining order shameful." And DDG mom is a typical boy mom, so her standing behind her son isn't surprising. But there's also the fact that Tanya basically lets her sons walk all over her, and y'all already glocked it, like in this clip where DDG literally smacks the food right out of her hand, and instead of checking him, she laughs it off like it's cute, yet enabling, much kind of weird for a black mom.
What happened? She gonna talk to me. She acting like I did something mean to her.
You better stop, mother.
But it's not just Harry who's complaining. In another clip, her other son's baby mama complained about how disrespectful he is. And what did Tanya do? She laughed it off, saying that's just how he is, and he's never going to change. Just no accountability, just excuses.
Rare way of communicating, but I don't talk to people disrespectful. If I'm talking in a high-pitched voice, it's not like I'm calling
I know him.
It's not like I'm calling
That's just him.
But you can't
That's
keep
just
giving
daytime.
people that's just him, because it's
But
still
it is.
disrespectful.
How long y'all been together?
But it don't matter, it's still disrespectful.
He ain't changed from day one. He's been this way.
No, Dejan a little bit more disrespectful than what he was.
No, I was explaining to her that I don't act like a relationship to her anymore. Like, I just act how as if I would act towards, you know, regular, like not regular, but like normal. It's an affectionate you, it's a relationship you, it's a lovable you, and then it's like...
But that's not even the craziest part, because DDG's brother Dub basically confirmed the whole dynamic in plain sight. In this video, he called their mom the nicest woman ever. Well, let's be real for a second, just for a millisecond the way he said it. It sounded more like she lets her grown sons run wild without ever checking them.
Halo walking in the room with my brother stream. My mama is coming to bring that here. My mama is the reason why we get our motherfucking kids. I don't talk to my goddamn baby mama. My mom is the reason why me and my brother get our kids. We go through my goddamn mama. My mom is nice as hell. This could be my mama cup. Chino can come and slap the cup out her hand. She gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna get me another cup. My mom is the nicest person in the world.
And the fans clocked in immediately. They've been side-eyeing Elsa Tanya. She's always inserting herself between her sons and their baby mamas, basically acting as the middleman. All because her sons allegedly don't even want to deal with their own kids directly. Look, nobody's saying that Tanya is a bad mom or trying to drag her parenting, but based on what Halle is claiming, it sounds like Tanya's been enabling DDG's toxic behavior for way longer than we thought. But this is where Tanya completely lost it. She decided not to hide behind cryptic Instagram posts this time. No, she went full savage, pulling out a swarm of legal declarations and airing Halle all the way out. According to Tanya, Halle's been lying through her little chipped tooth, exaggerating the drama, and pulling every trick in the book to cut DDG off from his own child. Now, everybody knows Tanya was riding hard for her son. And the way she tried to flip the script on Halle? It's wild. Because in her sworn declaration, Tanya straight up accused Halle of stalking DDG with AirTags. According to Tanya, the first AirTag drama popped off in June 2023. DDG found one hidden in his Maybach, and it didn't take long for the situation to spiral. That same night, Halle allegedly pulled up to a movie theater in Beverly Hills, where DDG was reportedly with another woman uninvited. Tanya claimed Halle even called her directly that night, going off saying she knew exactly where DDG was and threatening to F him up for sneaking around. But Tanya wasn't done spilling the tea. According to her, the movie theater pop-up was just the beginning of Halle's obsessed ex behavior. Tanya claims that the very next day, she, DDG, and her boyfriend George did a full sweep of DDG's Maybach. And what did they find? An AirTag hidden underneath the backseat. That's how Halle always knew exactly where to catch him slipping, especially at the movies that night. But hold up, wait a minute, because she did not stop there. Tanya says a few days later, George was driving DDG's Escalade when he started getting those same creepy AirTag alerts on his iPhone. At first, they couldn't find anything. But the alerts kept coming, so they ripped the car apart again and found another AirTag hidden behind the back seat. And just when they thought it was over, Tanya claims the AirTag popped up 2 weeks later this time, tucked inside a random vitamin bottle in the Escalade. But chilly, it got even crazier. Because Tanya claims Halle's tracking obsession didn't stop at cars. She allegedly took it to a whole other level after baby Halle was born. According to Tanya, in April 2024, she found a fourth AirTag, this time hidden inside Halle's diaper bag. And not just casually thrown in there. Tanya claims it was tucked underneath an internal cardboard lining, like someone was deliberately trying to keep tabs without being noticed. But it gets even messier. Fast forward to January 2025. Tanya says she and her boyfriend moved into DDG's house. While they were unpacking and organizing, she stumbled across a box of unused Apple AirTags tucked away in one of DDG's bedroom drawers. And guess who allegedly left them behind? Halle, who had been living there on and off before and during her pregnancy. Well, after Tanya aired all that out, it's no surprise that things between her and Halle have gotten even more strained. Things are so bad that Halle has refused to let Tanya around Halo. And y'all know Halle got a restraining order against DDG, right? The judge ruled that she could take Halle to Italy with her to film her new movie, and she was also awarded sole custody, y'all. Well, the judge recently ruled that DDG was allowed to visit her in Italy for supervised visits with Halle. See, DDG tried to block Halle from taking their son to Italy while she filmed her next movie, but Halle wasn't having it. In her legal response, she basically told the judge, "I have to be on set in Italy from June 7th to August 4th, 2025. Daryl's known about this for months, and this job is how I pay the bills for me and Halo. The judge eventually agreed to monitored supervision. But here's where the real drama kicked off. According to court reports, when DDG's lawyer, Larry Bachman, asked the judge to let DDG visit Halo under Tanya's supervision, Halle wasn't having it. Her lawyer, Jeremy Lane, shut that down real fast, telling Judge Latrice Burdong that Tanya couldn't be trusted to monitor those visits fairly.
Why?
Because Halle had already accused Tanya of enabling DDG's toxic behavior and claimed that's exactly why she filed for sole custody in the first place. In the end, the judge sided with Halle, saying the visits could happen but only with a neutral, professional supervisor in the room. But here's where it gets messy. The judge made it crystal clear. If DDG's visits with Halo do go through, there are going to be strict rules. First one, no posting Halo on social media during these visits. And y'all know how much DDG loves to post Halo, so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But it took an even wilder turn. DDG's lawyer claimed they tried to line up supervision for the visits, but all they could get was a therapist willing to chaperone. Yes, y'all, a therapist. Meanwhile, Halle's team wasn't having it either. Her lawyer let the court know they had already reached out to Italian authorities and they got detectives and private security ready to handle the visits properly. That's when DDG's camp started questioning why a chaperone was even necessary, but the judge shut that down too, pointing to the protective filings Halle submitted. At that point, Halle's team offered a solution. Her personal nanny and security could handle the supervision. But DDG's lawyer fired back, saying the nanny shouldn't be allowed to testify in future hearings if she's involved. The judge agreed to that term and locked in both the nanny and the security for the visits. But it didn't stop there. Halle's lawyer revealed that the nanny is actually scared to be alone with DDG, which is exactly why security had to be present too. The judge approved it, and now, DDG's visits with Halo come with full-time eyes on him. Well, nobody was surprised when Tanya tried to fight the court's decision. She argued that she's perfectly capable of being the chaperone and made it known that she thought Halle was being weird for trying to keep her away from her own grandson. But considering all the drama tied to Tanya's name, yeah, fans weren't exactly buying her innocent grandma act. They left comments under her post saying stuff like, "You should have dealt with this nasty behavior before because you know he has issues, but all you care about is the money and trying to look hip." And, "As a mother, yes, I defend my son till the wheels fall off. However, wrong is wrong. Hold your son accountable. He hit that girl in front of your grandson, and you want to defend the behavior? Nobody deserves that, let alone the baby being a witness. They don't grant ROs for nothing. Hold that boy accountable, and hop off the clout train while you can." Now the internet split. Some people think Tanya's just a protective mom defending her son. Others feel like Halle's finally exposing the messy dynamic that's been playing out behind the scenes for years. But one thing's for sure, and two things are certain with restraining orders, custody battles, and family secrets flying everywhere, this is far from over. So the question is, do y'all think Halle's being extra by trying to keep Tanya away from Halo, or is she just protecting herself and her son from the same old pattern? Drop your thoughts and comments below, and don't go nowhere, because the next video gets even messier. Tap, tap, tap in. All that talk about PPD didn't matter to him when he filed a restraining order against her in response to her filing a while ago. Now, he totally has the right to defend himself, but fans felt a type of way about how he went about it. He pretty much painted Halle to be a crazy, unstable woman who posed a danger to him and their son. Now, for somebody who claimed to want to protect Halle and her child, DDG's lawsuit didn't exactly do that. In fact, word in the streets is that she was so upset by this that it triggered her already fragile situation and caused her to have a mental breakdown. It's unclear what exactly that could mean, but sources are saying she was so distraught by this that she allegedly had to be sedated and is now under a psychiatric hold with strict observation. This is a mess. But considering what DDG said in his filing, it's not surprising that it would trigger someone who is already in a fragile state. In the lawsuit, he claimed that Highwood allegedly threatened to hurt herself to keep him in line and make him do what she wanted. He wrote, "The earliest documented incident occurred in March 2022 when the parties were in Atlanta. After an argument, respondent attempted to leave the residence in his effort to de-escalate the situation. Petitioner responded by repeatedly calling and texting him, eventually claiming she had a knife and implying she would harm herself if he did not return. This event is significant not only because it demonstrates suicidal ideation, but because it marked the beginning of a recurring pattern in which petitioner would threaten or feign self-harm as a manipulative tool to control respondents' movements and decisions within the relationship." He also claimed that there was a time she took his firearm while she was pregnant, and he feared she was going to hurt herself badly. He said, "This behavior escalated in August 2023 during a child confrontation, in which petitioner seized respondent's legally owned firearm during an argument and left the house in possession of the weapon. Respondent, unable to locate her and concerned for her safety, immediately alerted his mother and her fiancé, who ultimately found petitioner outside the home still holding the firearm. She was described as emotionally unwell, incoherent, and potentially dangerous. The incident is particularly grave. Petitioner not only placed herself at risk, but she utilized a lethal weapon in a context that clearly endangered the physical and psychological safety of those around her, including the couple's unborn child." He went on to say that the most serious episode occurred on March 21st, 2024, when petitioner sent a series of alarming text messages threatening to unalive herself and suggesting that her infant son, Halle, might also be harmed. She then proceeded to drive her vehicle, with the child in the car while in an emotionally unhinged state. Respondent was so disturbed by her condition that he immediately contacted petitioner's godmother to intervene,